There we go. My PlayStation had decided to change its input device, and so it couldn't be heard. But that was a hectic start, wasn't it? You saw the Mercedes of Lancer going right down the inside, and what a chaotic start in Belgium. I'm ever so sorry for that. I think it's because I unplugged my headset during the break. Yes, welcome back. What a joke, PlayStation. Actually, my PlayStation 4. I don't know PlayStation 5. I'm too poor for that. That's not nice, as I don't want to buy one, really. I've got a PC. But maybe I'll get one. But yes, ever so sorry about the technical difficulties, but we are back. I have been talking this whole time. I did reply to you, Short Marcus. I did say, how are you? I did this whole spiel of how much I love coming to commentate here at ESRL when I can and such. And I'm glad I'm here for a third week running. So, yes, doing very well. I hope you're doing well. Marcus is out on the track right now. He's P6 in the Alpine. But yes, a chaotic start. And we'll hopefully be keeping track of everything. Thank you for letting me know that you couldn't hear me, Ash, because I'd have gone on the whole stream without knowing. What a rookie mistake that is, eh? Am I an effing rookie, in the words of George Russell? But anyway, we're back to the racing action. DRL Lancer 3.7 seconds up the road already from Scotty in the Williams. Ghost chasing down the Williams driver for the run. He's been going so well on without the racing line, has Ghost, especially over here in these sprints. Ghost loves a sprint race. He's an absolute master. I say this every week, but 6-time sprint champion over an APPF1. Hoping we'll bring the sprints back soon, because I'd love to get back involved in that lot. But yes, what a driver you have here, and he's on the hunt for Scotty in that Williams. I think his best place goes so far has been P3. So can he get a P2 to his name? I can fact check that for you right now. Let me go in. I'm keeping one eye on the racing, one eye on the Discord, just trying to have a little look, see everything that's going on. Championship calendar. We'll take a look at the standings a little bit later, once I've got a chance to actually take a look at them and scrutiny. But yeah, it looks like Ghost's best finish so far has been a P3 in the sprint. So can he get himself a P2? He's going to go for it this time. Round the outside of Lecom. Gets it done in the corner, straight around the outside. No fear from the Haas driver. Through Malmedy, it's his place now. But he's got a gaggle of cars behind him, all wanting to get themselves in. And look who's lurking. These two have continued to fight in the most spectacular manner all time I've seen them on the racetrack together. Martin and Short Marcus. Do you remember back to Imola last week? What a fantastic battle the two of them had. If Martin really feeling the pressure, I think, after making a bit of a wobbler at the last couple of corners, to see himself lose the win there at Imola. But what a fantastic battle it was in Qatar as well. And we're going to have another one here, I think. We're really setting ourselves up for a great fight. Scotty's not done with Ghost yet, though. He's going to keep with the British racing driver in that Haas car, and he's going to give him a run for his money. Meanwhile, DRL Lancer 4.8 seconds ahead, but we're not focusing on that. Here comes the Williams. Does he go for a move on the inside? No. Sensible from Scotty. Doesn't go for him. Martin, look at the closing speed he got on braking. He almost went into the back of the Williams. He came so close to him. Fantastic stuff. There's a bit of a scrap going on between Jacko and Scaparo in the Ferrari and McLaren respectively, as they go through. But this lovely little gaggle of cars here. What? There's Ghost, Scotty, Martin, Marcus and Aces as well. That's 5 cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars all battling for the lead, for second place in this race. And here they go. Martin and the Short Marcus are battling. Ghost and Scotty are battling as well. They're two abreast as they go in toward Lecom. Could this be a Schumacher-Hakkinen moment for the two rivals back there? It's not, but they come to blows. There was contact between the two of them as they tried to go past Scotty and Ghost. They were fighting up ahead of them, but no way through. Ghost has lost the place to Scotty, but he'll stay with him. He'll keep fighting this one to the bitter end. I've had the privilege of racing many a time with Ghost, and there's been some fantastic fights that the pair of us have had in our time together over on ABBF1. And if I know Ghost, he never backs down from a fight. He's always going to be there, lingering, lurking, patiently waiting for his moment to strike. Mr. Miyagi, perhaps, if I want to call him anything, of of sprint championships. This is brilliant. But here he comes, down through towards Blanchimont, and he's gonna go to the inside. Maybe doesn't quite go for it. You can see how close he is to the Williams. Martin just behind too. Can he get a move done here? He's looking to the outside. The Williams gonna go defensive. Maybe a little bit of a mistake, a bit of a premature defensive move that could invite Ghost for a move down the inside of the source. But decent exit from Scotty out of the bus stop chicane, so no way through. It's going to be another run down through into Les Combes and another sprint all the way from La Source and up the hill. Let's try to find moments to just have a quick sip of water, a quick bit of hydration, keep the voice all primed and ready to go for this and fantastic action that happens out on the track. We're already about halfway through. This race flies by here at Spa. Long track, short amount of laps, but here comes Ghost looking to the outside. They're side by side, but Scotty's got him covered off. Ghost just slots back in behind, happy to sit behind the Williams for now. He doesn't need to fight and lose time where there's not really any chance for a good move on. So he's going to sit behind and continue to follow him through. And what you need around Spa is Jacko's gone around at Les Combes. I wonder how that moment came about. Let's hope he can get back into the race and back on track. He has got going again. It looks like he's got Rick for company toward the back, but nobody's come in yet, really, other than Scott. Scott's the only driver who's come in for the pits. There does have to be a mandatory pit stop. Rick and Jack are having a little bit of a tut-tut-tut. No, maybe not. Rick has gone round. That's what's going on back there. Meanwhile, Aces has fallen off of this fight, leaving them to fight between the four of them, but he's not too far away. He's only teetering on the edge of a second. So, still in the background, still in the wings, is Aces versus Kings. I'm a poet tonight. That's the second time I've done that without even meaning to. But Ghost trying to make his way through. Lancer in, Scotty in. The two leaders are coming into the pits. Well, I guess Lancer the main leader, but oh, everybody in actually. Look at that. Ghost and Martin stayed out. Ace is in, Short Marcus in, so they're going to try and undercut the rivals here in this little fight between them all. How's that going to work out for them? We'll see. But Ghost inherits, the lead of this race. If not provisionally, but Martin is going to come at him. Ghost is sitting duck. Look how much speed Martin had coming through into the Kemmel straight. He really had to avoid getting out of the way or making any sort of mistake. Really takes a lot of curb there, Martin, as well. Really not scared of these curbs here around Spa at all. I'm tripping over my words. I'm so impressed by Martin's ability to ride those curbs through Les Combes. I wish I had that confidence behind the wheel of a Formula 1 car. Although I am only still about a month or so into my wheel journey. So there is that working for me. But anyway, we continue on. I think these are the only drivers not to come in, if I'm correct. No, there's a couple others. Zuba and Jacko and Rick haven't come in for their stops yet. But Ghost and Martin, they're going to be on the mediums. And I'm not sure. It's going to be a running theme this evening, actually. There's not going to be much in it between the mediums and the softs. So it's going to be an interesting go. But if you look on the minimap then, Scott, Short Marcus are coming in towards Stavilo 1 right now. They've got Zuba ahead of them, which could slow them down a bit as they come through. So let's see. I think Martin and Ghost have got to pit this lap. Surely. Yeah, in Martin comes. Ghost comes in as well. They're both into the pits to cover this off. So here we go then. Here is Scotty and Short Marcus. They're going to be going for this undercut. It could work out for them. Keep an eye on the blue and the white dots in the pit lane. It's a short pit lane here at Spa, so it could happen. Side by side of Scotty and Short Marcus. They're going to go to a drag race all the way through La Source. Scott and Martin, Ghost and Martin are coming out of the pits now. They're going to be back as they were, more or less, as they come out racing. There they go. Ghost, the big loser in this fight. Martin as well. Oh, I don't know. It was close, wasn't it? Martin's in the race, but Ghost really caught out by the undercut when he's going to have the soft tyre advantage. But the three of these drivers here, Scotty, Short Marcus, Martin, are going to continue this battle in towards Les Combes. There they go. There's Martin trying to follow his way through as well. Can't quite do it. Short Marcus up ahead of the Williams. in P2 now as they went into late comms, and the undercut worked out tremendously for the Alpine. Commiserations for Ghost. He's 1.7 seconds behind this fight now. Should have pitted the lap earlier, perhaps. The more you know. If only he knew. But he's not out of this yet. If I know Ghost, he'll find a way back into this. Meanwhile, we've got a little bit of a fight for the lower paying positions. As who's going to get the wooden spoon of this race of P11 and no points? We'll see. Scott looks in prime position. He hasn't got any penalties. Rick and Jackalacco, they've got themselves some time penalties. 3 seconds each. 3 seconds for Scapro, 3 for Lancer. Rick gets himself another 3-second time penalty. Gets himself 6 seconds now under his name. That's not going to help his bid for some points in this event. Meanwhile, Short Marcus doing a great job. He's put Scotty in between himself and Martin. So Martin's got that to do, but it's such a long way down towards Lacombe, and the slipstream is so powerful around here and on this section of the circuit. So is Short Marcus going to be a sitting duck? Let's ride on board behind him. Look at the closing speeds we're going to get on these cars as they start coming down. You can see them flap at the wing opening up, and here comes that Williams. Look how quickly he closes on the Alpine. What a perfect transition as well, if I say so myself, as the Williams gets back into P2. Scotty really having fun out there at the Spa-Francorchamps circuit here in Belgium, and I'm having a lot of fun watching these 3 racers really give it everything they've got around this circuit. Ghost still lurking in the background, hoping that they fight a little bit more and can get himself back into the fight for these positions. Rick and Jackalacco trading positions here, fighting over the spoon as Scott has got away from them, and Scott might even benefit from the 2 McLarens and their penalties ahead of them if they are large enough. Lancer the shoe-in for the race win here, although if anyone can get within 3 seconds of him, he might lose it, or if he gets himself another penalty as Jackalacco overtakes Rick out of no name. Unusual overtaking position, if it must be said. But here comes Short Marcus. He might make a look in towards the bus stop. Is he going to go for a move here? I don't think so. It'll be silly, really. He's going to just sit behind him, wait for his opportunity. In towards the source, maybe, or more likely, perhaps in towards the Camel, or down the Camel Straight as they go towards the run through. I'm stumbling over my words again. Breathe. Hard to do, I know. Ghost is back in the fight though, folks. He's 9/10 behind TF Martin. I told you he would be back in this fight if he can be, and he is. So this is going to be quite another grandstand finish for the last couple of places on the podium. Lancer very much away with the race. Short Marcus doesn't want to overtake. I think he wants to keep the advantage of DRS because he's thinking about Martin behind him. He's thinking about Ghost behind him as well. This is the mind games. This is exactly what makes racing so interesting as the 2 McLaren swap places further back. It's that it's not just, you know, when the drivers are going wheel to wheel. Yes, it's exciting, but there's so much more to it. There's tactics and pit stops and just the ability for a driver to drive in a certain way and do certain things. It's fantastic stuff to watch. And, you know, I think I can say I've got enough experience in motorsport now where I can sort of read these things quite well. And you have to as a commentator. You've got to know what you're talking about. You've got to be able to read the body language of cars. And it really pays off. And here we go then. Through Blanchimont once again. At high speed in towards the bus stop. Martin, is he going to go for a dive? No, he's not. He's sitting behind. He's waiting for his moment. There's patience here. This is a fantastic little battle for these podium places. And Ghost is absolutely right in the thick of this. He's having a whale of a time out there, I'm sure. And again, look, Short Marcus, watch him. Let's keep an eye on Short Marcus. Is he going to go for a move on the Williams? I think he's perfectly content to sit behind Scotty and not go for a move. Although I say that, he's closing at a rate of knots and he's pulling alongside the Williams now. I think he recognises this is his chance. No Schumacher Hakkinen moves going on here, but Martin follows through Short Marcus. He knows that if he allows Short Marcus to get ahead of Scotty, then he could lose out some decent chunk of points to his main rival here in this championship. And Martin, with some very opportunistic racing, very smart racing, manages to get through. He's a fantastic driver, TF Martin. I love watching him work out there. I love watching the four of these guys driving out here at the moment. It's fantastic. I hope you guys are enjoying as well. 6 of you. Make sure you like, subscribe, share everything around. I do appreciate all the support, and I'm sure you guys are enjoying this as much as I am out here. We're on the penultimate lap. We're about halfway done on the lap through here. Is Short Marcus, Martin, Scotty and Ghost all fighting over the remaining places on the podium. DRL Lancer has been in the lead since lap 1 and hasn't looked back. I'll check on the penalty situation as well for you briefly. I'll keep that up on the screen for you for the time being. Here we go. Coming on toward the final lap. Lance has started the final lap just about now. So these guys are about to start too. What can they do? A little bit shaky from Ghost on the exit, but he's still sitting in there. He's waiting. This is the view. He's got the best seat in the house for this battle, in all honesty. He's having a great time watching these guys fight ahead of him. A little bit of wheel spin on the exit for Ghost out of Le Source. Not the exit he would have wanted to get. As we go on to this final run through Al Rouge and Radion onto the Camel Straight, Short Marcus is going to be a sitting duck. He's got no ERS to defend, so he defends the inside. Martin goes to the inside. He's off the track. He's on the grass. Surely that's not going to work out for the Red Bull, and the Williams is going to try and pick up the pieces. But Marcus defending well. Martin really desperate to try and get past him, to try going onto the grass. He is trying to emulate Alex Albon's incredible move a few seasons ago when he was still driving for Red Bull. I think 2020 season, if I'm not mistaken. But we're still carrying on. Marcus is holding on to this, but he's still got a lot of corners left to go, a lot more racetrack still to navigate. Scotty's got himself a penalty. Ghost is going to be happy with that. He'll see himself up a place, but he can't get within touching distance of Martin and Short Marcus. These two again giving us a fantastic grandstand finish as they come into the final sector. Let's see what happens. Martin's going to be using everything at his disposal to try and catch up to Short Marcus if he can, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Closing is the Red Bull. Is it a last-ditch attempt? Surely not from back here. No way. Will TF Martin go for this one? No chance. DRL Lancer crosses the line to win the Grand Prix. Oh dear. Martin, what was that? Well, that's kind of just spoiled the event for me, in all honesty. I'm sure the stewards will look at that one. Oh dear. That's not the best way to end the stream, but what a fantastic race it was up to that point. I'm not exactly sure what happened, so I won't comment on it too much. But we're just waiting for the last couple of drivers to make their way through. Jackalacco round. He's going to get himself a point on the board in the Ferrari. Rick's going to pick up that wooden spoon. Any of the four involved in that fight in the chat right now, let me know what happened. But 7 people watching. Hello, everybody. Rick comes across the line now. And that has been the Belgium race here in the reverse grid sprints. I'm going to try and find out if any muttering is going on in the chat. Lance has got hit from behind in turn 1. That was why he went diving down the inside. But there he is. A commanding race for DRL Lancer. Into the lead. Didn't look back. And that was a good little run from the Mercedes. He's had a bit of bad luck of late in these races, and it's nice to see him on the top step of the podium. So we're going to get Lifebout joining us for race number 2. But let's run over the results for the first race of this evening. DRL Lancer is your winner for race number 1, with TF Martin and Ghost making out the podium, and Short Marcus, who might be a little bit miffed with how that race turned out at the end there. But Scotty going to finish off the top 5 after penalties, with Aces P6, Suba, Scaparo P7 and 8. Then there's Scott, Jackalacco rounding off the top 10, with Rick rounding off the grid and getting the fastest lap for himself as well. So proving he's not all that bad on elite settings is Rick. So good race there. Ghost happy with his battle with Scotty. Yeah, that was a good little fight between yourself and Scotty there, Ghost. Good little scrap. Right, we put Belgium behind us for now. We'll run you over the standings then for the current setting. We've got 5 races after this one. We're at the halfway point of the season. Around 4 or 6, or I guess this is race 7 of 12. But you've got TF Martin then. Lowest finish of P6, that was in Imola. But 113 points for TF Martin, who leads the way. 12 points for Short Marcus in P2. Well, 12 points behind, I should say, is Short Marcus on 101. Then Ghost is on 75 points, just 38 points back from your leader. Then there's not even the McLaren on 44, tied with DRL Lancer in the Mercedes. Johnny Stokes 2 points behind on 42 points. Jackalacco on 36, with Scotty 3 points behind on 33. Then there's Clemmer on 30 points. DTS Ayrton on 20. Then there's Spout Wrong, Reshka, Glowstick, and Victor. Scott, Aces, Womax, RS, Truckster, Tier, and QB, rounding off your races in the driver standings. Then Red Bull lead the way by 9 points from Alpine on 129 to 119. Then there's Haas on 103. Then there's 74 points for the Mercedes outfit, 64 points in 5th for McLaren. Then Ferrari come P6 on 44 points, with Williams a point behind them in 7th. Aston Martin on 31 points, with AlphaTauri and Alfa Romeo on 3 and 2 points respectively, and Lifebout might just add to that point tally of AlphaTauri tonight, as he has joined us for race number 2, where we're going to go to one of my favourite tracks of all time. Actually, both of these tracks tonight are incredible. Belgium I absolutely love, and where we're going next is Silverstone, so don't go anywhere for race number 2. We'll be back momentarily. Right then, we're back. Fuming at that. Absolutely unreal. On to race 2. Let's do this, says Short Marcus. Yeah, I'm not going to comment any further on the incident, but let's just say it was a real dampener on what was a fantastic battle race, all race long. Yeah, I'll leave it for the stewards. It's not my job to be passing judgment on anybody as a commentator. It's my job to call the action. I mean, I can have an opinion, but we'll leave it out of the enjoyment of the streams. That's just the way I prefer to do things. Although, if I'm asked, I will give an honest opinion. As you know, as far well as a commentator, I'm a racing steward and a racer as well. So I know my way around motorsport, to say the least. But here we are then, the home of Formula One, one of the best racetracks on the planet, and you can say British bias till the cows come home, but we know how to make a racetrack. You've got, you know, the likes of Donington and Brands Hatch and what's that other one? Alton Park as well. Some fantastic tracks, but none of them are, I don't know, I mean, some might be better, you may have your opinion, but this is always going to be my favourite. Silverstone, home of Aston Martin Formula One team and home of Formula One. It is an absolute honour to be racing to be commentating on this circuit and driving on this circuit as well. 5.891 kilometres of old World War II I've lost my words again. Old World War II airfield, and turned into one of the best race tracks on the Formula One calendar. Let's take a rundown of your grid then. Rick and Jackalacco on the top, on the front row of the grid. How long will they be there for? I don't know. But these two, they're not shy of the front row of the grid at all, and hoping that they can convert a good result this evening. Scott in P3. Put the tyres up as well. Rick and Jack on mediums. Scott and P3 on softs. Then you've got Scapper and Zuber in the McLarens, both starting on softs too. Aces on the mediums, going for the alternate strategy. But in a fair few races with Aces as well, he loves an alternate strategy. He usually can make them work to great effect. So keep an eye on that, Aston Martin. He is very quick on an alternate strategy. Scotty P3, Sean Marcus P4, Ghost. It's not P3. Scotty P7, P8 is Marcus. P9 Ghost, Scotty on the softs, Ghost and Marcus on the mediums. Martin joins them in the mediums, they're in P10. Then Lancer on the softs in 11. Lifebout on the mediums, P12. So this 5 cars here, and even Lifebout too. I'll give him the credit. These guys are going to be really fighting with these guys, but none of these guys are slow by any means. Some faster than others. I mean, perhaps Scaparo and Zuba might get swallowed up a little bit, but there's some big names ahead of the usual race leaders who will not give an inch if they can do so. But it's another swing towards this medium compound. But around this circuit, there's not much difference in them. It's such a high speed, high load track that, you know, tyre wear is more or less the same around here for most compounds, I suppose. I mean, of course, softs are always going to degrade faster than other compounds, but in terms of feel, there's not much in it. Not much at all. Here we go, and it looks like a McLaren's gone off the circuit, just in the background there. I think that might have been Scaparo. Little foray onto the grass, helping out the track maintenance guys with the lawn mowing. Valtteri will be coming after you. It's probably his summer job, or I guess maybe his winter job. Maybe when he's not posing for nude calendars for charity, which I found very funny. Anyway, we're underway and racing very shortly for 5 red lights. And we're underway here for race number 2. A fantastic start from Scott. He's going to jump Jackalaka immediately. Can he come after Rick in P1? Not quite. It's not going to be close enough. Jacko actually shipping places. Zuba's jumped in now in the McLaren too. Oh, Lancer and Martin. No, Aces and Martin are off the circuit. They've had an incident. Something bad has happened there. I didn't quite catch it. All I saw was Martin and Aces off the track. Martin's got a lot of work to do now to recover that one. I think Marcus might be a little bit... he'll be quoting Fernando Alonso, to say the least. Karma, he might be saying behind the wheel of that Alpine, but he's got other things on his mind right now. He's got a race to try and win here, and he's up in P5 already. Ghost is following him as well. Ghost, he wants to finish hard in P3. I know he's got it in him. I know he's got the ability to do it. Can he do it here at Silverstone? He runs well at this circuit as far as I'm aware, and this is going to be about 3 cars going 3 wide into Magnus Beckett. That's surely not going to work. The McLaren backs out on a Zuba, maybe took to the off track, and he's going to have to leave that position back to Ghost as he has gone off the circuit and maybe gained an unfair advantage. 2 McLarens going side by side now as they come down towards Stowe Corner. Meanwhile, Lifebout getting his elbows out down the inside of Scotty in the Williams, getting himself up in place, but Scotty's going to come right back at him in towards the Vale chicane. Lots of action going on. Ghost and Jackalaka maybe going wheel to wheel with one another as we go, but Rick leading the way. Scott there too as well. Short Marcus isn't too far behind this, and Ghost. These two are going to be chasing down your leaders, but look at this, 5 cars all within touching distance of each other. Jackalaka trying to find a way past the McLaren of Zuba for P number 5. Down the inside of Farm he goes, and now into the loop they go side by side, and he's going to get an undercut here perhaps, looking for the better exit. Almost gets it, does get it through Aintree, and now he's going to be on the inside, ready to go in towards... I've forgotten the corner name. I should know this. But in towards Luffield. Jackalaka leads Zuba. Not Brussels, that's a different track. That's the last track we were at. How's that escaped me? I've got a track map. What am I doing? Anyway, let's get back to the action. Scott and Rick having a lovely little battle here. Short Marcus and Ghost look like they're going to have a little bit of fun here as well. As we go through Brooklands, that was it. I knew it started with a B, but Ghost down around he goes. Short Marcus through Stowe Corner, gets himself up into P3. He's now on track with his best race finish. Can he better that? Or is he only going to equal it again? Or is Short Marcus going to take it away from him? There's lots of racing still to be had here, and only on lap 3. DRS now enabled by race control. So the driver's going to have that advantage down the Wellington straight, down the Hangar straight, and not down the Hamilton straight. You don't get it down the Hamilton straight, just Hangar and Wellington. But Scott trying to maybe get a move on Rick. Here he comes, closing at a rate of knots. He is through Brooklands we go. I remembered the corner name now that I've looked it up. Rick defends right around the outside. Scott tries to go around the outside through Luffield. Doesn't quite get it done. Lifeboat having a good little race. Here he's up from the back of the grid in towards P number 5. He goes. Scott now ahead of Rick. It looked like he got a poor exit out of Luffield and through Woodcott. And Scott jumped him and was able to get him as they went through Copse Corner. Scott now leads this race in the Aston Martin. Lots of fights going on. Scotty, Jackalaka and Lifebout all close together. Short Marcus and Ghost, they're going to be battling all race long. Martin's caught up to the 2 McLarens. He's very quick behind the wheel of that Red Bull, so keep an eye on him. Rick's got back ahead of Scott. Let's focus on this. Your battle for P number 1. Scott and Rick doing some great racing out there on the circuit. Ghost and Short Marcus now join the fray. So there's going to be 4 cars racing. Here we go. Scott looking for a way through as they go through Abbey and Farm and into Village now as we go through. Rick still leads the way very deep through Village for Rick. That's going to compromise him into the loop and through on toward the Wellington straight as we go down for our run to Brooklyn's first opportunity for DRS. Can Scott make a move? Here he comes. Pulls out to the inside. They're going to go up the inside of Rick. Rick fends him off. Just positions that car in the middle of the track. Doesn't let Scott through. And keeps the position for now. Here comes Ghosto looking for a great exit through Luffield. He's going to draw level with Scott. They're going to go side by side through Woodcock now. And then Ghost up ahead of the Aston Martin. And he's going to be going through Cops in P2. And he's going to be putting the chase on Rick now, who's doing a fantastic job to fend off the drivers behind. But Ghost is closing at a rate of knots. He's dispatched short Marcus for the time being. Ace's race goes from bad to worse as he's spun at Luffield. But continuing on, Scott goes off the tracks. Short Marcus into it. Aston Martin's race unravelling. Goes so close to the back of the Mercedes of Rick. Rick will fight this as best he can. Late into the pits comes Rick, but in he comes in the Mercedes. Gonna go for that undercut onto the soft tyre. Remember, the tyres, not really too much difference in them around this circuit. So going early isn't really a detriment, but one of the longest pit lanes on the calendar. Actually, I'm going to have to find out which pit lane is the longest on a Formula 1 track, but you lose so much time at the Silverstone pit lane that an undercut is quite tough, but Rick is going to attempt it here. Ghost and Marcus, meanwhile, P1 and 2 for now. They've made great progress through here. Ghost has carved his way through. Marcus has never left him as he's gone lifeboat up the inside of Scott. Easy move through Brooklands into P3. Goes lifeboat, the man who came in halfway through the session and started at the back and is now P number 3. And that is before pit stops, of course. Meanwhile, Martin continuing on his charge. He'll be looking ahead for Giacolacco in the Ferrari next. Not quite close enough to close in. What Ghost has got to do now, manage the gap to Marcus. Got to keep that pace up. Got to put in the lap times as well, lest Rick gain any advantage. Let's take a look. Where is Rick right now? Coming through Cop's corner. So in come your leaders, Ghost and Scott. They are going to respond immediately. Ghost and short Marcus, sorry. Lifeboat stays out. Scott's in too. By the looks of things. Yes, he is. TF Martin's going to stay out a few extra laps too. Right. Where is Rick? He's coming down the hangar straight now on towards Stowe Corner. This is going to be interesting. Let's ride along with Rick in the Mercedes. Let's see, coming in towards Vale, the 4 cars in the pit lane. There's still not 3 cars in the pit lane, sorry, still yet to come out. This could be racing on the exit of the pits. Rick coming down the Hamilton straight now. Keep an eye on the right hand side of your screen, soon to probably become the left, so still the right. There's Ghost emerging, and he's emerging in the lead of the race, but Rick's tyres are going to be lovely and warm, and he looks to the inside, but Ghost just closes him off a little bit as he gets in the way of the Haas. But the Haas has got cold tyres. He's just out of the pit lane. They won't take long to warm up. Here comes Rick in the DRS, gonna pull to the inside. Ghost can't do much about this one. Rick down the inside he goes, and into the net lead of this race as they go. But this is going to be a race that goes all the way down to the very end. Rick runs very well at this circuit, and he's doing a fantastic job here without the racing line on. Running very well. Ghost running well as well, but Ghost has a penalty, folks. He's got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I missed that when he got it, but it's going to ruin his chances of finishing higher than P3. Oh, Ghost. One day, mate. One day. Let's not let it ruin what has been a fantastic race, and it's going to continue to be. Ghost is on the hunt. Here he comes. Rick defends to the inside. Ghost swoops around the outside in towards Stowe. Gets the job done. Absolutely no hesitation on that move from Ghost. Round the outside he goes. He's driving in anger there a little bit, and he was angry as Ghost is. He's very calm behind the wheel. He's basically the polar opposite to me as far as a racing driver is concerned. I'm almost a Yuki Tsunoda, whereas Ghost is perhaps a current Max Verstappen. Just ruthless efficiency out there on the racetrack, I suppose. But a lot cleaner than Max, as Aces is a little bit in the way there, but doesn't fight too much. He knows this isn't his race here as the drivers in your lead get past the Aston Martin and through. Jackalacco currently leading the proceedings, but he's still got to stop, as has Scaparo, as has Aces as well, and I think that's everybody who hasn't stopped yet. Martin's finally come in and he's chasing down Scott and Lifebout. Well, just Scott at the moment. Lifebout's actually on the back of this train. The Lifebout could be in with a shout of a win here, or maybe even a podium, if he plays his cards right. But Ghost's 5-second penalty is really going to hamper him. He hasn't got a lot of laps to open it up, but look at this. Side by side, Rick and Sean Marcus go. Rick has got very little ERS, but he's not one to back out of a fight, and he's going to continue to fight this all the way through, but Sean Marcus gets the better run through. Rick tries to compromise him on the inside of Val, tries to go underneath him, through goes Ham. Oh no, Rick, what have you done? Oh! Oh! Rick! Rick! I know he will be very, very upset with himself for that. I would be too. Oh, Rick. I'm lost for words. I'm so sorry, Marcus. Rick goes around the outside of Aces. Oh. Free wide through Cops, surely not as they go through. Martin's gonna thread the needle and get the places. Oh, Rick, what are you doing? Oh my God. What have I just witnessed? He's done them both. Oh, Rick. Oh. Oh my word. Ace is finally in the pit lane. It's going to promote Shaw Marcus and Martin up a few places. Martin's got a penalty. I don't know what that's for. 3 seconds, track limits. More than likely, Jackalacco on the back of Scott. Scott very deep through the loop. Invites the Ferrari of Jackalacco up the inside of Aintree. And he's going to have the DRS to help him secure that position. And it's P number 5 for Jackalacco, the Scotsman. This man, right here. This young man. The most controversial figure in these reverse grid races. He'll spend an eternity on the naughty step for that, I think. Meanwhile, Lifebout hunting down Ghost. Ghost knows he's got a 5-second penalty. Ghost knows that P1 is firmly off the cards here as Jackalacco now gets past Rick, who, in all honesty, I think should maybe just concede a bunch of places. It won't be any consolation to the effect it's had on Short Marcus or TF Martin. But, ouch. Okay, let's get back in this for the last 3.5 laps. Here comes Lifebout. DRS activated, looks to the inside, doesn't quite go for it. He knows he doesn't have to fight this too hard because Ghost has that 5-second time penalty. However, Lifebout, if he makes any sort of mistake and drops that time, this is Ghost's win. Ghost is finally going to break his streak of P3s as his best result and it'll be a P2 unless he makes any major errors. Lifeboat is all over the back of Ghost. He's practically inside the diffuser of that Haas car. Ghost looked like he got a much better run through Magus Beckett's and Chapel, but Lifeboat got a much better exit through the final stages of that complex. Ghost to the inside, defends. Lifeboat to the outside, tries to go around him. It's not going to work. Tries to go underneath him. It's not going to work. Can he get the move done in towards Vale? Doesn't quite manage to do it. Ghost doesn't invite him through, and a little mistake there from Lifeboat. You could see the car just not agreeing with his input on the throttle there. Little wobble as Short Marcus gets back past Rick. And I think Rick might have just, yeah, he's conceded them, I think, on purpose, or maybe just a little bit shaken up after his venture or through. Oh, they're still side by side. Here they go. But Rick succeeds the position to TF Martin, who comes straight through. Lots of time penalties among the field. Only 3 drivers without a time penalty. We'll take a look at the penalty situation. There's a stake from Marcus. Oh, don't come together again together. Oh, my God. The two of them side by side again in towards the Wellington straight, and it's TF Martin who gets ahead. Is Marcus going to go around the outside? There's a yellow flag in sector 1. That's Scott in the Aston Martin. Meanwhile, Scotty and Giacolacco are going to be battling here, and it's P3 now for the Ferrari of Giacolacco. Look, it's an all APPF1 top 3. Look at that, showing ESRL how it's done. Although maybe Rick put in a bit of mud in the water on that occasion, but we won't speak too much more on that. But these 3 all close together as Lifeboat ran the outside. He got that done mostly with DRS. Ghost really couldn't fight that, and he's going to try and fight as hard as he can to stay with Lifeboat. Scotty and Jacko are fighting. That'll be music to Ghost's ears because they won't close up any closer to the fight for the lead. Lifeboat, very quick racer, knows what he's doing out there on a racetrack. As does Ghost, though. Let's see what they can do in these final couple of laps. This is the penultimate lap of the race. Oh, a little shaky from Ghost there. Rear end not quite agreeing with him as he puts the throttle down. Closing into Brooklands is the House of Ghost. And doesn't quite go for the move. Meanwhile, Rick and Lance, Rick really having a torrid time out there for the moment. Giacolacco, you won't need to fight Scotty too hard. He's got time penalties, has Scotty. Let's see. We'll pop the penalties up on the board. Meanwhile, in the lead of the race, Lifeboat leads, and whether he's in the lead or he's behind Ghost, he's still your leader no matter what, because of the fact that he's got no penalties, and Ghost has 5 seconds to his name. But here comes the Haas, going to draw to the outside, going to do exactly what Lifeboat did to him, although Lifeboat got ahead. Oh, they've come together! Oh my word! Oh, and Scotty and Giacolacco. Oh, Jacko's going to be in prime position for a win here. Lifeboat came together with Ghost, the two of them, and it brings Martin and Short Marcus back into this. In fact, it brings Short Marcus back into this, but the biggest winner of your leaders in this championship. Absolute scenes here at Silverstone. Ghost goes past Lifeboat. I think Lifeboat just let him through on that occasion. Ghost's going to be a huge loser out of all of this because of that time penalty. Oh my word, absolute drama here at Silverstone, and it's not even over yet. We're on the final lap of this race, coming down towards Brooklands for the final time. Giacolacco is in prime position for a race win here in ESRL. He's going to be absolutely loving that he's in the place there. Lifeboat up the inside of Ghost. These two still close. Zuber retires from the session. I think that's in the pit lane, or perhaps he just left the session. But Giacolacco chasing down Scotty. Through Cop's corner they go with one last time, and in towards Magus Beckett and Chapel. This has been an absolutely chaotic race here at the Reverse Grid Sprints of ESRL season number 4. My word, I've hardly been able to keep up. I'm hoping you guys have been enjoying all of the racing action we've had here. Giacolacco in the DRS he goes. Does he close up on the Williams? He does, round the outside. He's not going to settle for a time penalty. He wants this on track. The Ferrari of Giacolacco ahead now of Scotty. Scotty, no response, no desperate moves from the man with a time penalty. Giacolacco, car number 8, he's going to come across the line to win the British Grand Prix after an absolutely drama-filled race. There goes Lifeboat in P3. Ghost dropping all the way down to P6 as Marcus P4, Martin P5. Then there's Ghost 6. Wow. What an evening of racing. You're making a habit of this, trying to finish me off, you lot. Whoa! Racing to the very end of the McLaren and the Aston Martin. Fantastic stuff. Oh. You know what? Giacolacco, driver of the day. For race 2 at the very least. Race 1, Lancer, easy choice. Got it done. Well then, the results for the second race are in. Giacolacco is your winner of race number 2 this evening, with Scotty taking P2 on the podium and Lifebout taking P3 and the fastest lap of race number 2. Short Marcus then P4. Martin rounds off your top 5 with Ghost P6. Then there's DRL Lancer P7. Then there's Rick, Scott, Scaparo rounding off the top 10. Aces and Zuba finishing off the rest of the grid. What an evening of racing we've had here at ESRL Reverse Grid. Sprint races, it's been absolutely drama filled. Some of it for some of the wrong reasons. We don't like to see too many incidents in motor racing, but sometimes it's just the way the cookie crumbles. But my God, action packed has this racing been, as it always seems to be in these reverse grid sprints. Wow. Giacolacco, right place, right time. And as they say, you've got to be in it to win it, Jack. So well done. You were right in the right place to capitalise at everyone. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Whew. Right, folks, that's going to round off a fantastic evening of racing. I sincerely hope that I will be back on next Friday for some more action over in APPF1 Tier 1 and here, of course, in Reverse Grid Sprints, where next week their drivers will be taking to Monza and Suzuka, 2 more staples of Formula 1. And then a finale the week after that in Abu Dhabi and Brazil, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully I can bring those to you as they happen. That would be great to have that consistency going in towards the last few races. But thank you all so much for tuning in. I do appreciate all the support, all you guys watching. So make sure you like, subscribe, share around, do all the stuff you can. I really, really, really appreciate all of the support you guys give me over here as well. It really helps out. And I do this for fun mostly, so knowing that people enjoy watching something that I enjoy doing does bring a smile to my face every week. So I do appreciate it, guys. But I'm gonna go rest now. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a very, very warm good night. Goodbye, guys.